What caused you as an organization to switch focus from environmental issues to education?
Well, I think the main reason was requests from the learners themselves, from the school kids. They wanted other things in addition to just environmental education, because they were struggling and the schools weren't able to give them what they really needed. And we had to debate whether that was valid, and we thought that it was, and felt that we could help them in a variety of ways and not just environmental education.
What are the SAEP's major initiatives?
Well, just many. Could start with the ECD. I mean, that was a whole new initiative, but that was way back in 2003. The more recent ones have been Hope Scholars and Matric Success and ADT Teach. I think those have been the biggest things this year. But there are lots has been happening in the arts program, and now the environmental getting the environmental program up and running again. So yes, could say a lot about it, but that's in summary.
How do you view the South African education system?
Well, I think a lot of people are trying very hard, but it's still a pretty poor system. I mean, it's still very much struggling. And although there are some fantastic teachers who really, really go the extra mile, and don't envy them their jobs one little bit, there are also plenty that are not really giving it their best. And the schools are just under-resourced and struggling. And I'm surprised that anybody comes out with a reasonable education at all. And I'm surprised that any can really succeed at university. But they do, and that's great, because they're winning against all the odds.
What are the social issues that face the people in the townships?
Gosh, I'm sure everybody else has said that much better than I could. It's poverty, it's unemployment, it's lack of housing, or poor housing, crime, just lack of resources, poor schooling. Yeah.
What are some of the success stories that have emerged as a result of the work of SAEP?
Well, I think the people are the success stories, and I think the bridging year interns who've been interviewed will speak to that directly, how they've grown in their own lives and overcome challenges that they would never have been able to overcome otherwise. Obviously also the preschools that have developed and grown and are now sustainable, where they were just little shacks before.
How does the SAEP empower those they serve?
Well, again, I think the stories that the bridging year students tell would say it much better than I would. But I think it's building self-confidence through the programs that we run. It's not just imparting information. It's also encouraging and providing a shoulder to cry on, and providing somebody to take an interest in them, and just helping along as a friend, as a parent, as a support worker. And that all helps people to grow and become empowered.
Do you think that SAEP does advocacy work? And if so, how?
We do some. It's not the main focus of our work, but there have been times when we've taken up issues. For example, there was a time when the creches were getting registered with the state departments, but they weren't getting subsidy. And we worked very closely with one of the principals to present to one of the parliamentary subcommittees. And so we helped her to prepare her speech and to present it. And out of that, she was then interviewed on national television, national news, and quite soon thereafter her subsidy came through, and that was a real breakthrough for a lot of people. So yes, there are times when we take things up like that, but it's not the major focus of our work.
What are some of the biggest challenges in operating the SAEP?
Well, the biggest challenge overall is funding. That's without a doubt. I would say another big challenge is dealing with volunteers who are very enthusiastic and energetic and want to make a difference in a short space of time, but don't have the history and the local know-how. And it's just managing that, how to bring in people and enable them to make a difference, and then they leave again and somebody else needs to pick that up. And that's quite a big challenge. We obviously, volunteers are essential to us, not just financially, but because they bring so much in so many ways. So otherwise we would do without them, but it is a challenge to know how to manage it all, and particularly when we have big groups coming mid-year. I think sometimes we have too many to be able to really utilize everybody.
What are the rewards that you have gained from working with SAEP?
Well, I think seeing people grow, seeing projects grow, seeing volunteers get satisfaction from their work. But it's seeing the bridging year students a couple of years down the line, confident and succeeding and knowing what they want to do with their lives and making a go of it. Seeing the creche principals with big smiles on their faces and happy with how things are going, able to succeed. Yeah.
Where do you see the SAEP in the future? Or where would you like to see it?
Well, I'd like to see us growing and able to become much more sustainable, not always having to live from hand to mouth. I'd like us to see us having all our programs in all the high schools in Philippines. I mean, that would be my dream. Obviously, ultimately, further afield as well. But if we could have all these programs, Hope Scholars and Matric Success and the environmental work and the arts program, etc., and ADT Teach in all those 6 high schools, so giving a really comprehensive program, I think that would be fabulous. I'd also like us to have programs in the primary schools, so we could work and support a whole lot more creches in the Philippine area, because I mean we're just working with a fraction at the moment. So to get all the creches up to a level where they're providing quality care and quality preschool education, and their primary schools as well. So the children really would have proper support all the way through. And then to have more resources to work at the tertiary level as well.
What do you think it'll take to get there?
It'll take time and a lot of commitment and persistence and money. And I think we can get there eventually.
All right. Well, that's it for my questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.